Life often feels like a puzzle where the pieces don't quite fit, and the road ahead seems uncertain. But what if those delays, detours, and disruptions are not obstacles but divine preparations? What if the unease you feel deep within is not a sign of failure but a whisper from God that something extraordinary is on its way? Today we'll explore the signs that God is about to surprise you, because just when you think all is lost, the divine timing of your breakthrough might be closer than you imagine. Divine timing is one of life's greatest mysteries. Often we find ourselves caught in the rhythm of wanting things immediately, expecting our prayers to be answered the moment we ask, and feeling frustrated when life doesn't unfold according to our carefully crafted timelines. But the truth is, God's timing is never rushed and never late. It operates on a higher plane, one that is perfectly calibrated to your growth, your needs, and your destiny. When you begin to understand this, you'll see that what feels like a delay is not denial. Instead, it's a preparation, a divine orchestration that ensures you are ready to receive what is meant for you. Sometimes the waiting period can feel unbearable. You may look around and see others advancing, achieving, and thriving while you feel stuck, wondering if you've been forgotten. In those moments, it's easy to doubt, to question whether the path you're on is the right one, or whether you somehow missed your chance. But here's where the beauty of divine timing reveals itself. What is meant for you will never pass you by. When it's your time, no force on earth can stop it. And when it isn't your time, no amount of effort will make it happen sooner. Consider the example of a seed planted in the soil. You can water it, nurture it, and place it under the perfect sunlight, but you cannot force it to grow faster than its natural pace. The same is true for the blessings and breakthroughs God has in store for you. If you rush the process, you may end up receiving something that isn't fully formed, something that doesn't have the strength to endure. But when you allow things to unfold in their due season, what emerges is not just beautiful, it is strong, enduring, and exactly what you needed, even if it wasn't what you initially wanted. There's also an incredible lesson in trust that comes with waiting on divine timing. It teaches you patience and perseverance, but more importantly, it teaches you to release control. We often believe that we need to have every detail of our lives figured out, that if we work harder or push ourselves further, we can make things happen on our own terms. Yet the greatest surprises often come when we surrender, when we step back and allow the divine plan to unfold. It's in the quiet moments of trust, when we stop striving and start believing, that the most profound shifts begin to happen. Divine timing also comes with signs, though they are subtle and require a discerning heart to recognize. You might find that doors you were desperately trying to open suddenly close, leaving you confused and disheartened. But what feels like rejection is often redirection, a gentle nudge from God saying, "Not this way." There's something better ahead. Other times you may notice opportunities that seem too perfectly aligned to be coincidences. These are whispers from the universe, reminders that your path is being guided even when you can't see the full picture. In hindsight, you'll often realize that the timing of events in your life was flawless. Think back to moments when something you desperately wanted didn't work out, only to later discover that what came instead was far greater than anything you could have imagined. Or perhaps you've experienced a delay that forced you to develop skills, resilience, or perspective you wouldn't have gained otherwise. That's the beauty of divine timing. It not only delivers blessings, but prepares you to handle them with grace and gratitude. So when you feel like you're in a season of waiting, take heart. Know that every second is purposeful. The universe isn't holding you back, it's setting the stage. Just as the stars align in the heavens in perfect harmony, your life is aligning with a greater plan. Trust in that process, because when the time comes, the surprise will not only meet your expectations, it will exceed them in ways you never dreamed possible. Life has a way of surprising us with twists and turns that we never anticipated. Sometimes these disruptions can feel overwhelming, as if the very foundation we've been standing on has been pulled out from under us. It's natural to see challenges and setbacks as barriers to our dreams, obstacles blocking the path we thought we were meant to walk. But what if these disruptions are not stumbling blocks but stepping stones? What if they're hidden directions, nudging us towards something far greater than what we could envision for ourselves? When life doesn't go as planned, it's easy to feel frustrated and discouraged. You might wonder why things are falling apart, why the doors you were so sure would open have suddenly slammed shut. But there's a deeper truth at work. Disruptions often serve as divine interventions. They're not meant to derail you, but to realign you with your true purpose. In those moments of confusion and struggle, God may be redirecting your steps, guiding you toward a path that leads to greater fulfillment and joy. Think about the times when you were forced out of your comfort zone. Maybe it was losing a job, ending a relationship, or facing a financial setback. At first, it felt like your world was crumbling. But as time passed, you began to see how that disruption created space for something new to enter your life. Perhaps it led you to discover a passion you never knew you had, meet people who became instrumental in your growth, or uncover strengths you didn't realize you possessed. What once felt like an ending was, in reality, a beginning, a redirection that brought you closer to where you were meant to be. Disruptions challenge us to let go of our attachment to how we think life should unfold. We often cling to our plans and ideas, believing that we know what's best for us. But God's vision is far greater than ours. He sees the entire picture, not just the snapshot we're living in. When something doesn't work out, it's not because you're being punished or forgotten. It's because there's a better plan in motion, one that you may not yet understand. These moments require faith that even when the road is unclear, you are still being guided. Sometimes the signs of hidden direction are subtle. You might experience a sense of restlessness, an inner knowing that something needs to change, even if you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Other times, the signs are more abrupt: a sudden loss, an unexpected event that forces you to pivot. In either case, these moments are invitations to pay attention, to listen to the whispers of your soul and the guidance of the divine. They are opportunities to grow, to evolve, and to step into a version of yourself that you might not have reached otherwise. It's also worth noting that disruptions often come with lessons. They teach us resilience, adaptability, and trust. They remind us that life is not about rigidly adhering to a plan, but about flowing with the currents of change. When you embrace this mindset, you begin to see disruptions not as problems, but as possibilities. You start to ask not why is this happening to me, but what is this teaching me? Where is this leading me? In hindsight, many of life's greatest blessings come disguised as disruptions. The closed door, the unexpected detour, the setback that seemed insurmountable, all of these moments often lead to breakthroughs that transform your life. You might not see it immediately, but over time the pieces start to fit together. The job you didn't get made way for a better opportunity. The relationship that ended opened the door to deeper love. The failure you experienced taught you lessons that became the foundation of your success. So when you find yourself facing a disruption, take a moment to pause and reflect. Instead of resisting, lean into the uncertainty with faith. Trust that even in the chaos, there is a divine order at work, guiding you toward your highest good. Because the truth is, every disruption carries within it the seeds of direction, if only you're willing to see it. Have you ever felt a deep sense of restlessness, a nagging unease that you can't quite shake? It's as if your spirit knows that something more is meant for you, but you're not sure what it is or how to reach it. This feeling of inner restlessness is not a sign of failure or dissatisfaction, it's a sign of transformation. It's a signal from God, a quiet yet persistent whisper that you are on the brink of something extraordinary. This internal stirring is often one of the clearest indications that a breakthrough is on the horizon. Inner restlessness may manifest as a yearning for change, a sense that the life you're living no longer aligns with the person you're becoming. It can be uncomfortable, even disorienting, because it challenges the status quo. You might find yourself questioning your choices, your routines, or even your purpose. While this can feel unsettling, it's important to recognize that restlessness is a gift. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something greater, a new chapter, a fresh beginning, a divine surprise. When you feel this way, it's not a time to panic or rush into action, it's a time to listen. Often God uses restlessness to get our attention, to guide us inward so we can tune out the noise of the world and hear His voice more clearly. This inner stirring is a call to reflection, to seek clarity about what truly matters to you and what no longer serves you. It's a period of pruning, where old habits, relationships, or beliefs that have outlived their purpose are gently or abruptly removed to make space for new growth. In this state of restlessness, you may also notice an increase in signs and synchronicities around you. Perhaps certain words, songs, or messages seem to repeat themselves, resonating deeply with your current state. These moments are not coincidences, they are divine breadcrumbs, guiding you toward the path that aligns with your highest good. Pay attention to these signs, as they are often the roadmap to your breakthrough. One of the most challenging aspects of inner restlessness is the temptation to resist it. It's natural to seek comfort and stability, to cling to what is familiar even when it no longer fulfills you. But restlessness is not a punishment, it's an invitation to grow. Resisting it only prolongs the discomfort, while embracing it opens the door to transformation. This doesn't mean you have to make drastic changes overnight. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply acknowledge the feeling and surrender to the process, trusting that God is working behind the scenes to orchestrate the details of your next step. It's also important to remember that restlessness often precedes revelation. Before any major breakthrough, there is almost always a period of uncertainty. This is a time of spiritual stretching, where your faith is tested and your patience refined. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing you're about to leap but unsure if the landing will be safe. In these moments, your trust in God becomes your anchor. It reminds you that even when you can't see the path, the one who created it has already paved the way. As you navigate this season, be kind to yourself. Inner restlessness can be emotionally and physically draining, but it's also a sign of progress. It means you're growing, evolving, and aligning more closely with your divine purpose. Take time to nurture your soul through prayer, meditation, or simply spending time in nature. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, and don't be afraid to seek wisdom from those who have walked a similar path. In hindsight, you'll often find that the periods of restlessness were some of the most pivotal moments in your life. They were the catalysts that propelled you forward, the gentle nudges that pushed you out of your comfort zone and into the extraordinary. Without them, you might never have discovered the depths of your strength, the clarity of your vision, or the magnitude of God's blessings. So if you're feeling restless today, take heart. Know that this unease is not a sign that you're lost, but a sign that you're being found. It's the prelude to a breakthrough, the beginning of a transformation that will leave you stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose than ever before. Trust the process, for God's surprises are always worth the wait. Life has a remarkable way of foreshadowing its blessings through small and seemingly insignificant moments. These little gifts, often overlooked or dismissed, are the universe's way of signaling that something greater is on the horizon. When God is about to surprise you, the signs often come not as grand gestures, but as subtle patterns of small blessings. These are the breadcrumbs that pave the way to your breakthrough, quietly building your faith and preparing your heart for what's to come. You might begin to notice that things start falling into place in unexpected ways. Perhaps you've been struggling with a problem, and suddenly the solution appears effortlessly. It could be a kind word from a stranger that lifts your spirit on a tough day, or a small financial windfall that arrives just when you need it most. These moments may not seem monumental, but they carry a deeper message: you are being taken care of, guided, and prepared. Small blessings often serve as reminders of God's presence in your life. They are like gentle whispers, telling you to stay hopeful and trust the process. While it's easy to overlook these moments when you're focused on the bigger picture, they are powerful indicators that you are on the right path. They remind you that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is a divine force working behind the scenes, aligning everything for your highest good. The beauty of small blessings is that they often come when you least expect them. They have a way of catching you off guard, showing up in moments of doubt or discouragement to reignite your faith. Perhaps you've been feeling stuck, wondering if your prayers are being heard, and then out of nowhere, a door opens or an opportunity presents itself. It may not be the grand breakthrough you were hoping for, but it's a step forward, a sign that you're moving closer to what you've been praying for. These small blessings are also an invitation to cultivate gratitude. When you begin to recognize and appreciate them, you shift your perspective from one of lack to one of abundance. Gratitude has a magnetic quality. It attracts more blessings into your life. By celebrating the small wins, you create space for even greater victories. It's a reminder that every journey is made up of small steps, each one bringing you closer to your destination. There's also a deeper purpose behind these small blessings. They build your trust and strengthen your faith. They teach you to see the divine in the ordinary, to find beauty in the everyday moments of life. This shift in perspective is transformative. When you start to see even the smallest blessings as evidence of God's presence, your faith becomes unshakable. You no longer need to see the full picture to trust the process. Instead, you find peace in knowing that every detail is being divinely orchestrated. The patterns of small blessings also have a way of preparing you for the bigger blessings to come. They align your heart, mind, and spirit with what lies ahead, ensuring that you are ready to receive it fully when it arrives. Think of it as training ground for your faith, a way to build your capacity for gratitude and joy. By the time the bigger blessings come, you've already cultivated the mindset to appreciate them deeply and use them wisely. In hindsight, you'll often realize how significant these small blessings were. What seemed like a random act of kindness, an unexpected favor, or a stroke of good fortune was actually a piece of the puzzle, a stepping stone to something much greater. It's in these moments that you see the intricate web of divine timing and orchestration at work, weaving together every detail of your life in perfect harmony. So if you find yourself surrounded by small blessings, take notice. Don't dismiss them as coincidences or insignificant moments. They are signs that you are being guided, loved, and supported. They are reminders that even the smallest acts of grace carry immense power. And most importantly, they are a promise that something greater is on its way. Stay hopeful, stay grateful, and keep your eyes open for the bigger blessings that are just around the corner. God's surprises often start small, but they always lead to something extraordinary. Faith is one of the most powerful forces in life, and yet it often requires you to trust in what you cannot see. It asks you to believe in a plan that hasn't yet unfolded, to rely on promises that have not yet materialized, and to take steps forward even when the path ahead feels uncertain. This kind of faith in the unseen, is not always easy, but it is the key to unlocking the surprises that God has in store for you. When you choose to trust in the divine, even in the absence of tangible evidence, you create space for miracles to happen and for blessings to exceed anything you could have imagined. Faith begins with a decision to believe, even when your circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is tested in the waiting, in the struggle, and in the unknown. It's in those moments when you feel like giving up, when nothing seems to be happening, that your faith becomes a lifeline. It reminds you that even when you can't see the work being done, God is moving on your behalf. He is arranging the pieces, aligning the opportunities, and setting the stage for a breakthrough that will come at just the right time. Having faith in the unseen doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about choosing to see beyond the present moment, to trust in a higher perspective that goes far beyond your own understanding. Think of it as planting a seed in the ground. You water it, tend to it, and care for it, even though you can't see the roots growing beneath the soil. You trust that in time the seed will sprout and grow into something beautiful. In the same way, your faith nourishes the blessings that are taking shape, even when they remain hidden from view. One of the hardest aspects of faith is letting go of the need to control the outcome. As humans, we like to plan, strategize, and figure out every detail of how things should unfold. But faith asks you to surrender that control and trust that God's plan is better than your own. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It's an acknowledgement that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, because a higher power is already doing that for you. Faith in the unseen also requires patience, a virtue that can feel elusive in a world that thrives on instant gratification. When you're waiting for a breakthrough, it's natural to want answers and results right away. But faith teaches you to trust in divine timing, knowing that what's meant for you will come when the time is right. This waiting period is not wasted, it's a season of preparation, where you are being molded and refined to receive the blessings that are on their way. As you cultivate faith in the unseen, you'll begin to notice signs that affirm your belief. These may come in the form of synchronicities, moments of unexpected grace, or a sense of peace that washes over you in the midst of chaos. These signs are reminders that you are not alone, that God is walking with you every step of the way, and that your faith is not in vain. They serve as anchors, grounding you in the knowledge that even when you can't see it, something extraordinary is unfolding. Faith also opens the door to possibilities that your logical mind might never consider. It allows you to dream bigger, to hope for more, and to expect the unexpected. When you trust in the unseen, you align yourself with the infinite potential of the divine. You become receptive to miracles, blessings, and opportunities that go far beyond your human limitations. In the end, faith in the unseen is not just about believing in what's to come. It's about finding peace and joy in the present moment. It's about knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, even if the full picture hasn't yet been revealed. It's about embracing the journey, trusting the process, and resting in the assurance that God's surprises are always worth the wait. So keep believing, keep hoping, and keep trusting. The unseen is where the greatest miracles begin, and your faith is the key that will unlock them.